Kenyan Member of Parliament arrested for demeaning country's president. Australian journalist flown out of China amid diplomatic standoff. Philippine President pardons U.S. Marine over transgender killing. Details of these and more after this break. I am Omoye Ugbeide. Member of Parliament was arrested on Monday evening for remarks made against President Uhuru Kenyatta over the weekend. Johanna Nenyo is accused of using abusive and demeaning language against the president, and he is set to appear in court on Tuesday. A video clip of the Member of Parliament utterances on the fallout between President Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto has circulated widely on social media. He's heard telling the president to dissolve the government and quit if he is uncomfortable working with Ruto. Chaotic scenes during the member's arrest in his constituency in the Rift Valley region was streamed on his Facebook page. The president's deputy tweeted after Neno's arrest that leaders should exercise restraint and avoid insults and bad language against other Kenyans. The health authorities in South Sudan have expressed concern at the surge of COVID-19 cases in neighboring Ethiopia. This is after Ethiopia reported its highest rate of infection last week since it confirmed its first case in March, according to the World Health Organization. Ethiopian Airlines has daily flights between Addis Ababa and South Sudan's capital Juba, which is worrying to health authorities. Dr. Loy said daily flights between Juba and Addis Ababa will continue as each country is obliged to protect its citizens by putting in place safety protocols. A Belarus opposition leader has reportedly been detained at the border with Ukraine the day after her disappearance. Maria Kolesnikova was held at the border early on Tuesday morning. It comes the day after witnesses reportedly saw masked men bundle her into a minibus. She is one of the three women who joined forces to challenge President Alexander Lukashenko in August's election. Mass protests followed his re-election amid allegations of vote rigging. Authorities added that more than 600 people were arrested on Sunday on the fourth consecutive weekend of anti-government demonstrations. And in Brazil, the country with the second highest number of COVID-related deaths after the U.S., the daily death toll on Monday dropped to its lowest in 4 months. At its highest in July, the reported number of deaths within 24 hours was 1,554 and on Monday stood at 315. However, Monday was a holiday in Brazil and experts have urged caution, warning that a delay in the reporting of fatalities may have contributed to the low number. It was said that looking at the average daily deaths within 1 week period gives a more reliable indication of any trends. An average of 784 deaths per day for the last 7 days was 17% lower than 2 weeks. In total, there have been more than 125,000 COVID-related deaths in Brazil. Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro has been skeptical about the risk posed by the virus and vocally opposed lockdowns imposed by regional governors. The lockdowns have since been eased amid concerns for Brazil's economy, but a run on many beaches on the holiday weekend has reignited fears that the lack of social distancing may drive the number of cases up again. And Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte has drawn criticisms from rights groups after pardoning a U.S. Marine convicted of killing a transgender woman. Duterte issued the pardon on Monday to Lance Corporal Joseph Scott Pemberton, who has been in prison since 2014 for the murder of Jennifer Laude. Pemberton has served just over half of the 10-year sentence for the murder. Virginia Suarez, a lawyer for Laude's family, called the decision a mockery of the country's justice system. The former U.S. Marine has been granted early release last week by a local court for good behavior, but the decision was held pending an appeal by lawyers for Laude's family, and the process was negated by the pardon. there was no immediate announcement of a release date. And two Australian news outlets have removed their reporters from China over a diplomatic standoff. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation's Bill Bitters and the Australian Financial Review's Mark Smith landed in Sydney on Tuesday. The Chinese authorities questioned both men before their departure. Meanwhile, relations between Australia and China have deteriorated in recent years. Australian Foreign Minister Marise Payne said consular officials had assisted the pair and other reporters for Australian media currently in China. The Australian Foreign Minister reported that Chinese authorities had questioned the journalists about Xinjiang, an Australian journalist for Chinese state media who has been detained since last month. And Prince Harry has paid back the £2.4 million to taxpayers' money spent on renovating his UK home at Frogmore Cottage in Windsor. The Duke of Sussex, now living in Los Angeles after quitting royal duties with his wife Meghan Markle, paid the bill in full by making a contribution to the sovereign grant. This contribution, as originally offered by Prince Harry, has fully covered the necessary renovation costs of the cottage, a property of Her Majesty the Queen, and will remain the UK residence of the Duke and his family. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex agreed to pay back the money for the renovation work as part of the plans drawn up when they quit as senior working royals in March. Reports say the £2.4 million payment was made possible thanks to Harry and Meghan's new multi-million-pound Netflix deal agreed last week. Meghan and Harry announced they would be producing films and series for Netflix, including scripted series, docu-series, documentaries, and children programs. Frogmore Cottage, which is owned by the Crown Estate, was a gift from Harry's grandmother, the Queen of England, but was renovated with taxpayers' money. And that's KUFM's news around the world. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. Kenyan member of parliament arrested for demeaning country's president. Australian journalist flown out of China amid diplomatic standoff. And Philippine president pardons U.S. Marine over transgender killing. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Coronavirus is real. Wash your hands regularly with soap under running water. Use your face mask while in public to stay safe. KUFM's news around the world was produced by Godsent Ogwebo. I am Amaya Gwede saying thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
KUFM. All the programs on KU 92.7 are now open for sponsorship